This is an unboxing video for the VIOFO A119S Dashcam. This is the current packaging. You can pause this to read the specifications. The A119S has 1080p at 60 frames per second or 30 frames per second, plus 720p. It runs off the Novatek chipset using the Sony 2-megapixel sensor, resulting in 98-degree horizontal view, not the 135 degrees advertised. The wedge-shaped design allows for mounting higher up the windshield. It contains a G sensor and uses a capacitor rather than a battery. I selected the A119S for its 1080p resolution, image control, CPL filter to reduce dash reflections, and the reduced field of view, which eliminates image distortion at the edges of my small car windshield. You'll note the difference between the A119 and this S model is you can no longer adjust your lens left or right. This has been removed and a larger lens has been installed with the Sony sensor, which improves night vision. So that is the big difference between the two models. Other than that, the functionality in terms of settings are the same, which we'll cover in the next video. So in the box, which is smaller, you get your guide, which is actually contains a lot of helpful information. Refer to it for the various menu settings. You get this very slim box which contains all your accessories. You get your two mounts, which we'll discuss in a moment. You get your mini USB cord for firmware upgrades and powering the unit. You get your 5 clips for mounting your cabling in your car. You get your spare 3M adhesive if you have to remount, and the removal string which you would put around your fingers and saw off the adhesive off your windshield. There are other methods which I will cover in another video. The mounts, though, there is a difference. You get two. One is for CPL filter mounting, and the other one is for without CPL. So you'll see here there is a difference. One is flat, another one is angled or wedge shaped, and that is specifically to allow the CPL filter if you've ordered it. So the CPL is Circular Polarizing Lens to allow or to reduce glare off the windshield. It reduces image quality slightly, but not major. If you have a very light colored or very shiny dash, you will want the CPL filter, guaranteed, to improve your image. So it just clips in just like that. But if you were to mount it without a GPS unit and you used instead the thin mount, you would find that it actually would hit your windshield. So if you lock this in place and you were to mount this on the windshield, you'll see that the CPL filter is actually hitting the surface and the mount is not flush at all. So there is a definite reason for them sending now a different mount if you're not using GPS. The GPS is 3 times thicker, but you can see here that if I try to angle it, I'm going to hit the surface if this was your windshield. So they've now included in all boxes the wedge design. So that would be the reason. Now when you go to angle it, it does not hit your windshield. That's the purpose. If you have the GPS, then that will be even wider distance. Now in this box, what I didn't show is the long 9-foot cable that's already mounted in my car, and my GPS unit's already attached to the windshield, which you can see in the A119 video on my channel. The biggest difference though, the reason why I wanted to buy this is it reduces the distortion on my car's windshield because it has a narrower field of view. And with all my dash cams, I've been using the Lexar 64 gigabyte micro SD cards. I find that they work wonderfully, and I have contacted Lexar through email and online chat to verify that they do use MLC chips in their cards. Now they do actually state that depending on the factory that produces their cards, whether it's Korea or another country, some countries don't use MLC, and there's no easy way to determine it. But from Lexar, they actually say most of these specific 633 time high performance cards, and that's the 32 gigabyte, 64 gigabyte, and 128 gigabyte, all use MLC chips. See my setup video for the A119S and the footage, and also a comparison between the footage of the A119 and this S model, plus the lens flaring issue people are suffering from in both dash cams, to show the difference and a few interesting tips and modifications you can perform yourself on your A119S model to improve the image. Thank you for watching.